So Alyssa, you take time and share
Hi,
your story.
everybody. Yeah, I would love to. So I have two little boys. They were both born cleft affected, and they are 3 and 5 now. And I see little hands waving at me. It's so cute. They're 3 and 5 now, and at my 20-week ultrasound, we found out about our oldest son's cleft, and we were shocked because we had no family history of cleft. And for me, one of the hardest things that I have ever walked through in my life was the time of finding out about my baby's cleft and then up until pregnancy. So, like that chunk of 4.5, 5 months, I just lived inside my own head. And there were so many thoughts, so many questions that I had that I just did not feel comfortable putting out into the world or asking other people because I felt ashamed of those questions. And I thought, like, how can I love my baby and be having these questions at the same time? So I like really beat myself up for that. So, whenever I had my second cleft diagnosis, that was almost even worse because then it became this narrative of you thought that you were the problem before. Well, now you really must be the problem. Right. So I think that if you found out about your baby's cleft, whenever you found out about it, you probably can relate to some of those feelings. So that is, I birthed a company, a business out of those feelings, and I walk alongside new cleft moms from the time that they get their baby's cleft diagnosis through that first year and just really hold their hand with the emotions that they face and supporting them in the questions that they're having or too afraid to ask. I created a course for different chapters, I guess you would say. So when you first get your baby's cleft diagnosis and what advocacy looks like and how your relationships with family and friends can kind of change, and even your relationship with your partner and your spouse, and feeding, emotions around surgery day, and just all of those things. So that is really what I love to support new cleft moms with. And my experience has really just inspired all of it. So that's a little bit about our story.
Thank you so much, Alyssa. I know that Colleen is here, and I'd love for everybody to hear Colleen's story and what she has prepared.
Hi guys, I'm Colleen and this is my son Caden here. He's turned 16 in February, which feels like that's crazy to me that he's that old. He was born with a cleft lip and palate, and I didn't know he had the cleft lip or palate until he was handed to me. But I knew when Caden looked at me, I'm gonna start to cry, that we would be okay. Like, I'll never forget that moment when he first looked at me. I really didn't have any idea of what to do. And in 2008, there wasn't a lot on Facebook. There wasn't a lot of support out there. Thankfully for me, the hospital I delivered at had cleft moms that worked there that could talk to me, and which was amazing. And the one nurse who came into my room, I'll never forget this. She looked at me and she goes, "He is so beautiful." She didn't mention anything about the cleft at first. She just said, "He's so cute," and just commented on how cute she thought he was. And I loved that. Within the first year of his life, he had 2 surgeries. He had his lip repair and his palate repair. And to date, he's had 7. And then, one day I was just scrolling on Facebook and I saw this page to mentor cleft moms. And I signed up and I actually mentored. Melinda was my first cleft mom I ever mentored. And I was blown away by her knowledge. And I felt like she knew more than me. And I was like, "You're mentoring." She introduced me to Lisa, and Lisa's been there for us through braces, surgeries, expanders, life changes, and just everything. I mean, I never feel dumb when I ask Lisa a question. She's just like, "No, it's okay, I'll help you." And um, one of the things I love about Lisa is even if it's not cleft related, I know that she's there. And Caden had a seizure this summer and I was freaking out at the doctor. And she was like, "Here, let's come up with questions to ask together, Colleen, because I know your mind is elsewhere." And um, I just feel so honored to be part of this sisterhood of cleft moms. And Lisa has really changed our life. And now Caden is a sophomore in high school and he's working hard to graduate early. He's doing great. He's got great grades. And I always tell him that his Cleft is the greatest surprise I've ever gotten in my life. I wouldn't change being a Cleft mom for anything. We have learned so much and just been humbled, and I've met so many amazing people and that are now our family. And I love this group so much. And I love you, Lisa, too. You've been there for me through so much. And I don't know what I would
love you.
so.
I adore you guys. And thank you, Kaden, for being here.
Say hi here.
You know, Auntie Lisa loves you. Even my big kids, I love you guys.
He's a little shy. Teenagers are kind of
I
nervous.
know, that's why I'm thanking him for being here. I know it's a big deal that he's here for me. So I appreciate that. Stop it.
We're gonna come see you soon. I haven't met you in person, but I will.
It's going to happen. It's going to happen. You know, there are families, I've been doing this for a decade. And one of the best things is meeting another family in person. And there are so many families I never thought that I would get to meet and I would never get to hug. And one of the families that I got to meet, I live in Arizona. I'm from Jersey, but I live in Arizona now. And I met a family from Canada. And that is a family I never thought I would get to meet. And it is just, there are no words to express what it's like to meet another family in person and to hug. And it's very odd to say meet because we know each other for so long and our stories, and it is beyond the Cleft journey. It is marriages and divorces and new babies and the highs and the lows, and every other aspect of the journey is what the support is about. I think we're waiting on Sally, who got stuck in another session, and somebody else. So we're going to go ahead and open the floor up. Who has questions?
Sally is here.
Oh, Sally is here.
Hi.
Hi, Bob.
I'm
Hi,
under Delilah's
Sally.
name.
Oh, I see. Okay. Go ahead and share with us.
So my name is Sally, and my daughter is Delilah, and this is the 4th CleftCon that I have joined in. And I found out that Delilah was going to be born with a cleft 6 months utero. And I was one of those moms. Like they mentioned in 2009, this was new to me. I knew nothing about clefts and palates and whatnot. So I was one of those moms that another young lady had mentioned, that I was hysterical, and they had to get me a therapist to come in, a psychologist, and, calm me down. And, they didn't really tell me much. And like I had mentioned in many other presentations, I was given the option to abort her. And I was disgusted by that option. She is the most amazing little girl. I'm so happy that I didn't even consider that option. She is, she's just great. Small Train has been amazing. I'm a little saddened that it took me so long to find them. I'm saddened that it took me so long to meet you, Lisa. I just, believe it or not, we just met, Lisa, in July
We're
at
sisters.
the CleftCon
We're
in New York.
sisters.
And when we met each other that day, it was like, oh my God, we knew each other forever, and we had just met. And I felt a bond, and I hope it's, reciprocated. But it was, and I think that's what Small Train does. It brings us together. It brings people that you never knew together, and we're bonding over a common cause, which is our children, or, the mommies is their children, and the kids are getting to know each other. And like I told Delilah the other day, I said, it's great that you are no longer alone, right? I'm no longer alone. She's not alone. There's other kids you could bond with. There's Hunter, and there's your son, and there's Alyssa's 2 little boys, and there's Christina's girls, and everybody that we just formed together, and it's amazing. So I'm happy to be here, and I'm happy to have met each and every one of you in Small Train, and it's amazing.
Thank you so much. It really is. I said earlier today, and I say it all the time, that it really is a Cleft family. It's a family, and nobody gets it like another mom. And when I host a lot of get-togethers and events, and I have families that come in from other states, and I have the families that are here in Arizona, and we'll do like a spring potluck, or we'll get together for the holidays, and to sit at the kitchen table or to sit on my couch and have a cup of coffee with somebody who you don't have to explain, why is your child's speech like that? Why is your child having difficulty eating? You don't have to explain anything. They just get it. They understand it. But so much more is watching the kids and the teens interact with each other. And they just feel completely at ease. They're just being kids. They're just being teenagers. They're not feeling embarrassed. They're just being themselves. And as much as I'm always telling the kids, and Kaden, I've said this, is be proud of who you are and be proud of the fact that you were chosen to have this cleft. You're not just a cleft. You're not just somebody who has a cleft, okay? You are this amazing individual that has so much more to offer, that is so special, that is so unique, that your difference should be embraced and should be acknowledged and not made fun of, that people should want to know about your cleft and what you've gone through and be amazed by you and not fearful and not feeling sorry for you. The surgeries are horrible and they're rough, and yeah, empathize and sympathize, but don't look at anyone born with a cleft and be like, I pity you. And don't look at them like you should have been aborted or why are you here? You exist for a reason. You matter. Your difference is so special. Empower that, embrace that, advocate, educate, and be proud of having that cleft.
Lisa, your words are just so amazing and inspiring. We have about 5 minutes left in our session. What would you tell all of us here who are just inspired by wanting to go out and start supporting new moms or people who are in the doctor's office getting that diagnosis right now? How do you get the word out to, do you partner with doctor's offices? Do you spread your name out there and number and contact information? What do you do? How do we all get started?
So as far as finding me or Cleft Mommy's Bond of Friendship, Cleft Mommy's Bond of Friendship is a private support group because I'm very overprotective of my families, and what you share is shared within our walls and nobody gets to see it or hear it. But you can find us on our public page at Cleft Mommy's Bond of Friendship, and you can ask to join the private support group, or you can message me privately and say, a group is not my thing, and I will just support you individually. And for those that are looking to be an advocate and be a voice and help others, you can give whatever it is that you're feeling that you have. Sometimes it's just reaching out when you're sitting in that doctor's office and you see another family and saying hello and giving a smile. Or you can choose to partner with Smile Train and raise funds or be a voice. There's so many different aspects, and so many people have different jobs and different parts of their lives where they're busy or they have free time to offer their support. So it comes in many different ways that you can really provide that support. For myself, it's mostly on Facebook with a lot of connections and a lot of the families, and it's word of mouth, and it's our public page. It's an international support group, and there's always somebody saying, hey, do you know Lisa? And, you know, it's funny when you introduced me, Jesse, saying I'm a little bit of a celebrity and everybody knows who I am. I don't look at myself as a celebrity or a leader in the Cleft community, but I've come to hear a lot of people say, we know who you are. And that's so special to me to hear, that people are hearing my voice and hearing my advocacy for the Cleft community. And I think that is one of the biggest ways that you can offer support, is be that voice.
Those are such great words. And I think that is something that we are all learning today throughout CleftCon, is being that voice and advocating and just sharing our stories. I know that's what's helped me in my 8-year journey that I've been on with my daughter. And I recognize so many names in the room today. So it's exciting to see everybody and meet you in person, Lisa, or virtually. This has just been really amazing. Do we have any final questions before we close the session?
I want to say a special thank you to Sally and Alyssa and Colleen and Kaden for chiming in and sharing a little bit about yourselves, and for letting me be your kids' aunties, no matter how old they are. Alyssa, your little guys are, gosh, is there anybody who doesn't love them? They are the cutest thing.
They don't live with them. No, I'm just kidding. No, they're pretty great.
All right. Well, this has been so amazing. So thank you everybody for joining. Couple reminders: if you haven't yet, take a selfie in our photo booth and share it with your networks. Introduce yourself on the CleftCon community with a post on the community board. If you've been having great conversations throughout the day in this session, keep those conversations going by connecting with your fellow participants and speakers. And I think we are headed to a dance party, so I hope to see everybody there.